I love the parables where Jesus explains its meaning to his disciples. There's no room for guessing or interpretation. This week, we look at such a parable. It's called the parable of the wheat and tares. A tare is a darnel weed in Palestine that resembles wheat until it matures and bears fruit. One day, Jesus sat in a boat and addressed a large crowd. He was in a parable mood and told over half a dozen parables that day. Let's hear this parable found in Matthew 13:24 to 30. Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like this. A man sowed good seed in his field. One night, when everyone was asleep, an enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went away. When the plants grew and the heads of grain began to form, then the tares showed up. The man's servants came to him and said, "Sir, it was good seed you sowed in your field. Where did the tares come from?" "It was an enemy who did this," he answered. "Do you want us to go and pull up the tares?" the servants asked him. "No," he answered, "because as you pull out the tares, you might pull up some of the wheat along with them. Let the wheat and the tares both grow together until harvest. Then I will tell the harvest workers to pull up the tares first, tie them in bundles and burn them, and then to gather the wheat and put in my barn." The meaning of this parable baffled Jesus' disciples, and when Jesus was alone with them, they asked him to explain its meaning. Let's hear Jesus' explanation found in Matthew 13:37 to 42. Jesus answered, "The man who sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed is the people who belong to the kingdom. The tares are the people who belong to the evil one. And the enemy who sowed the tares is the devil." The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvest workers are angels. Just as the tares are gathered up and burned in the fire, so the same thing will happen at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send out his angels to gather up out of his kingdom all those who cause people to sin and all others who do evil things, and they will throw them into the fiery furnace where they will cry and gnash their teeth. What learnings can we get from this parable? Firstly, we learn that people who do evil things exist due to the sly activity of the devil, who by planting them is disrupting God's good plan of bringing his kingdom on earth by planting his own people in the world. So while the devil has succeeded in planting his agents, we find God unwilling to allow his servants to retaliate and destroy these evil ones from the face of the earth. God's response is not because he lacks the power to do so, nor is it because he is condoning this devil orchestrated evil. It actually is his grace and concern for his people that makes him stay his judgment. Just like the wheat and the tares were not very distinguishable in the days Jesus told the parable, even today it's not easy to recognize wolves dressed in sheep's clothing that cross our paths at homes, at work, or even at church. Jesus, without any condemnation, mentions that while everyone was asleep, the devil quietly does his work and disappears. The lesson for us, children of God, is to remain alert to the fact that the devil is a real entity and could be masquerading as one of our friends, and like the roots of the tares, can get intertwined with our lives. When Jesus told us that we are the salt and the light of the world, he desires for us to let his light shine through us, protect us from the evil designs of the devil. Since good and evil are intertwined, trying to separate good from evil may actually result in a state where things could get worse than what we are trying to correct. But this lack of action is not the end. Jesus clearly says that there will be a day of judgment, when an absolute separation between good and bad will happen. Evil and Satan will meet their well deserved end. But in the meanwhile, this parable helps us understand why evil and evil persons remain active in this world, and provides us one more reason to answer the complaint that many in the Bible, including Jeremiah, had when he questioned God. Why does the way of the wicked prosper? Why do all who are treacherous thrive? May God give us his patience and his protection as we deal with the devil and his designates or delegates in this world. Amen.